And welcome to another Saturday morning Samoflange. I'm Matt.
You can't do the opening like that. Now, jump scares, it's not even October.
I know.
I'm Benjamin.
I know. But we're still into the new year, and now is the time we're doing our top 5.
But you just killed all of our listeners.
All right.
Like, everybody just had a heart attack and died from that.
No joke. Everyone was asking me, since our first podcast of 2025 was not about the top 5 movies. People thought we weren't doing it, and they started because they saw the title, and they said, "Oh, Matt, so what is your top 5 movie?" So they've been expecting this.
They've been waiting. Well, here
they've
it
been,
is.
and we are going to disappoint. I mean, not going to disappoint. Here's the thing. This, without a doubt, is becoming the hardest list to put together for me now.
You're not looking forward to 2025?
I look at these movies coming out and I say, I can wait for streaming.
I can wait for streaming, yes. I will be honest, and a little bit of a spoiler there, I will give you a lot of the same feedback that I struggled to put together a top 5 list.
Like 5, and I don't even know if all these are coming out. I had to look online at 2025 releases.
Same.
And I hope my number 2 is coming out.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't even know. I know for a fact 3 of these are coming out.
How much crossover will we have then if we are so desperate to even fill a top 5 list? I think we may have 3 crossovers.
Am I picking?
Sure.
I think 2.
You think 2 at least? I'm gonna go high then and say 3.
Okay.
Because
it could be 3.
Yeah.
It very well could be 3. I'm pretty confident there's 2.
Okay, all right.
But okay, so I'm going 2. You're going 3. That I would have switched that up, and I would have said 3.
Really?
Yeah, I mean no, but that's a good pick.
But I mean, of all the
because there's a possibility it couldn't.
I looked at the list too of the 2025 scheduled releases, and I was like, ho, that can wait. Like I don't need to buy $20 popcorn.
That's exactly what I said. I said that can wait. That can wait. That can wait. That can wait.
Yeah.
So, should I do a spoiler here and say what is not on this list?
I don't know. And what do you mean by that? So, like, do you feel like there are
movies? No, I'm not, because you may list one of these movies.
There are other movies that people would anticipate?
There's a genre that is not on this list.
Oh, okay. I know what that is. It's Marvel movies.
There is not a single superhero movie.
Okay.
On this list.
All right.
Okay, so with that being said, I should start.
Crack open my Sprite winter spiced cranberry.
Winter spiced, yes.
Winter spiced.
Winter spiced. All right. My number 5 is a sequel to an underrated movie that not many people saw, but they should go back and see, called Nobody. It is Nobody 2. Nobody. The actor from Better Call Saul. I can't think of his name right now. All right. He did an excellent movie about the average man who has a family. Yeah. Someone steals his little girl's bunny and he goes after it.
Oh, I remember seeing the preview for that. Yeah.
And he's a nobody, right?
Nobody.
He used to be a hitman.
Yeah.
So and I'm like, wow, this is very John Wick ripoff.
Yeah.
It's written by the same guy.
Oh, that's great. Okay.
Now get this. This was written before John Wick 4 the last John Wick came out.
Okay.
What is the bounty hunter chasing down John Wick in John Wick 4? Mr. Nobody.
Oh, no way.
So it was an idea he was working on. He didn't think there was going to be a John Wick 4 back at the time, and had an idea for someone called Nobody. An assassin called Nobody.
That's cool.
And now, because and I compare this, if John Wick is the Avengers, then Nobody is Captain America the movie. I mean, it's pretty solid on its own. Like the Captain America movie,
not the first one.
The first, I like the first one, but the thing is, though, it's not a Marvel, it's not a team up.
It's not a massive thing.
It's a good single there. But it was really fun, and that they're doing a sequel, yeah, I'm all in.
That's
so
cool.
Number 5, Nobody 2.
Okay, nice. I'm gonna have to watch Nobody now. I remember seeing the.
It's fun,
for that, and I'm glad to hear that you're the only person I've heard talk about it. So
it's a fun one.
I'll give it a go.
Good deal.
Number 5 is also a sequel, but if you want to call it a sequel, it's a long-running chain of movies. But I recently rewatched the very first one of the movies, the original, the OG. And so I'm actually kind of excited to see the Predator Badlands movie. Wait a minute.
That is number 2.
It is number 2?
Already there's one crossover. I have lost this.
Predator 2 or Predator Badlands is the one that you were hoping would come out this year?
I'm hoping.
Okay.
It will.
You have doubts that it won't?
Well, I don't. In this day and age, yes. Everything gets delayed.
Right.
Okay, so talk about Predator Badlands for a minute.
I don't have to say anything else other than Predator Badlands.
Okay.
And I watched the first one very recently with somebody who had never seen Predator before. And I absolutely fell in love with the whole thing again.
The first one is gold.
It's gold.
I rewatched the second one, not that bad.
Yeah, I remember we talked about that.
And the thing is, there's a few things, and back in the early days, we had an ongoing gag about Predator 2.
Yeah,
because in Best Sequels, CJ said Predator 2, it came out of left field. We made fun of it for like 20 episodes, afterwards. But Predator 2 shows more about the Predator.
Right.
More weapons, more style. That they've been the big revelation. They've been there for centuries.
Years, yeah.
So it did dip into the mythos. It couldn't do the whole Lost in the Jungle thing, so it went the exact opposite in the city. It did its best. The city, the concrete jungle.
Right.
And I'm fine with this.
Mm-hmm.
And it didn't go with the big muscle guy. It went for the semi-retired detective.
Yeah.
And the thing is, though, bravo. You went.
They changed it
you
up.
zigged when you could have zagged. You didn't make a repeat.
Right.
Which is what a lot of sequels back then were exactly doing.
They were just the same story.
And they were bold enough to take it. So I give them a pass. But overall, it's still a good, like, want some candy? That's a great line.
That's a great line.
That's a great line. After that, Predators, which I enjoyed. You have to go with Alien versus Predator, which,
struggle.
But Predators was really good. I like that they're on an alien planet. That was a nice twist.
Was cool.
And that spoiling for Predators here.
Spoilers.
But that the Doctor ended up being a villain.
Yeah.
And you didn't know, it seemed like it was comedic that he was the one that was kind of out in the, you didn't know what was going on. Was he cheating on his taxes or something? And I think they even make a joke like that later on. That's probably what he's in for, is tax evasion.
Yeah.
But you find out he is his own little secret killer.
Right.
And it's wonderful. I cared about the humans.
Yeah, exactly, which is rare.
And they brought some lore from the first Predator. The dogs that were eventually scrapped came in for this one.
Yeah.
So I like that. The Predator was absolute garbage. And I said, wow, Hollywood, you've tried so hard. You said, how can we killed off the Alien franchise.
Yeah.
How can we kill off Predator?
I remember you telling me how much you hated the Predator.
Did you hate the Predator?
I didn't even watch it.
It's
No, that's all I've heard. It was
so bad.
Rotten Tomatoes, everybody said don't waste your time.
It's such a shame too.
Yeah. And I got excited when I saw the name came up. I was like, oh, they're doing Predator.
Yeah.
I got really excited. So I might be fooled again. Like, this could be fool me twice. Shame on me.
Did you see Prey though?
No, I didn't see Prey.
Fantastic.
Really?
Fantastic.
I think we did talk about that.
It's the prequel.
Yeah,
It's a prequel.
The prequel to Predator.
You're gonna love it.
Okay.
You're gonna love it. It's so much. In fact, I don't know what Predator Badlands is about.
I don't either.
But here's the thing.
I didn't want to read it.
I want every movie to be a prequel. I want
Why?
Predator versus the French Revolution. I want Predator in the Civil War. I want Caveman versus Predator.
Yeah.
I
want dinosaurs versus Predator.
Because the Predator in Prey is not advanced.
Oh, okay.
Because it's centuries later. They don't have
the gauntlets.
They don't have all the technology they had.
Infrared.
Yeah, it's very limited. And I love that. I didn't think about that. I'm thinking, because I have zero creativity when it comes to making these stories. I thought the Predator would have all the same gadgets.
Yeah.
But hundreds of years ago, he didn't.
Yeah.
He had more, it's still space age, but what we would think.
Like Star Trek, of the Kirk's era is different from Star Trek.
Yeah. He's like a original series Klingon.
Yeah.
Except not that lame. Not that lame.
Not that lame.
But anyway, I really enjoyed Prey. You should watch Prey, and there's no after credit scene, but as the credits are playing, they're showing cave drawings, and you should pay attention till it fades to black.
No way. Oh, that's great.
Because the cave drawings are basically its own little bonus scene. It's telling another story.
I love that.
It's so smart, because that's how they used to tell stories back then, drawing on caves. And this is an Indian tribe that comes across them. It's so wonderful. I love Prey.
Cool.
So because of that, I believe they've righted the ship.
You think so?
I think so. Well, I mean, Predator Badlands is number 2.
Predator Badlands.
And number 4 for you.
Do we even know who wrote it yet?
I have no idea. But I saw Predator Badlands, and I'm going by the name alone.
Yeah, so am I. So, and that's fine. Like, I don't want to read too much about movies that I feel like already have my money.
Yeah. Yeah. That's fair.
I already want to see it. Like, don't waste it and ruin it on a preview or something like that.
Fair. Good pick. You're number 5. Excellent.
That's my number 5. Yeah.
Number 4.
Number 4
for me is Mission Impossible: Final Reckoning.
Mission Impossible: Final Reckoning is my number 4.
Is it really?
It is really.
You have won the day.
I have won the day.
You have won the day because I know the one that we're both picking. Okay, so it is number 4. I enjoyed. It used to be part 1, Dead Reckoning.
Yeah.
And now they're just calling it Dead Reckoning.
I hate it. I hate it.
I hate a part 1 and a part 2 because as I knew would happen, they had to delay it. They had to retool it because it was a bad reception. Not a bad reception. It just went lower because it's been a while. Yeah. And eventually everything loses steam like that.
Of course.
I enjoyed Dead Reckoning. I thought it was fine. I'm not going to rewatch it.
No.
They're just going to pick it up where they left off. I'll just go for it. I know they found the key.
They'll give you a rehash.
They'll give me a rehash and everything, and that'll be all I need. But from now on, please don't do a part 1, part 2. In fact, if this one fails, I think that's it for the series.
Yeah, I think it might.
Which I'm ready for it to end because I don't want, in my opinion, there's only been one so-so one, and when they stopped giving me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I can't remember. It's like number 6, I think, was a step down. And I think this is number 7. Number 7 was much better. Number 8 was good. 9, yeah. And so they made one that I felt they stumbled a little bit in the middle, even though Dead Reckoning was great. The train scene where they're falling and trying to fight
that's unreal.
falling train and moving to the next car as it unhinges and falls. Yeah. As again, it's action we've never thought of before.
It's great.
So Mission Impossible still fun for me. Final Reckoning, number 4 on a normal day would be higher.
Do you think Tom is done? He's ready to be done with these, or
Tom wants this to keep going as long as he can keep going.
Like Harrison Ford.
But again, well, yes. But again, if that pony doesn't make more money than Dead Reckoning, which at this point I don't think it will.
Not even Tom Cruise could do that.
I don't think he can save it, but he can always jump back on Top Gun 3.
I mean, he's got plenty of options for sure.
But
Days of Thunder 3 probably or something.
Who knows? Wow, we have tied in this one. Okay, so my number 3 is your number 1.
Yeah. Your number 3 is not my number 1.
It isn't.
No.
But number 3 for me is Karate
Kid Legends.
Is it 3 for you?
No, it's number 2 for me.
2. Okay, there you go.
Yeah, number 2.
All right. Yeah.
We want to talk about Karate Kid Legends.
And I'll be honest. Since I've seen the trailer, I
haven't seen.
I probably would have switched these.
Really?
Yeah.
You would put it at number 2?
Probably would have put it at number 2. Probably a little bit higher.
There was a disappointment.
No, it's good. It moved it up one. Because I like Jackie Chan. I love Jackie Chan. I am a big Jackie Chan fan.
I don't know anybody who doesn't like Jackie Chan.
Yeah, but so to see Jackie Chan and Ralph Macchio together, that's excellent. That they're tying in the other Karate Kid movie, I'm fine with.
Right. That's fine.
There's no Jaden Smith.
Right.
Wise choice.
Yeah, wise choice.
Because I was scared they're going to because Will Smith owns the rights to Karate Kid.
No.
That's why he's an executive director on Cobra Kai.
I had no idea.
Yeah, he bought the rights for his son to have a vehicle, a legacy vehicle, but it didn't. It did okay. The new Karate Kid did okay.
Right.
But Jackie Chan coming out as Han, who knew Miyagi. It's definitely going to be interesting what they do with this. My only regret, and I did read a critic review, is they said the one mistake of Legends is Johnny should be in it. And Johnny's earned his right in the Karate Kid mythos because of Cobra Kai.
What?
And Johnny should be in the movie, but he's not.
Wow.
It leaves Johnny just for Ralph Macchio. Which is funny, but without Cobra Kai, we all would have been fine with this.
So maybe in Cobra Kai final season, Johnny finally dies or something?
No, it says it won't mention Cobra Kai, but it takes place in that universe.
Interesting.
So it's basically after the events of Cobra Kai, Ralph Macchio's character gets a call from Han, who knew Miyagi's student, and reached out to him to help him train. It happens over in Japan or wherever.
Sure.
Okay, now where they're having it, he's having trouble with this kid, and from Mr. Miyagi's, I guess, pen pal writing. I don't know the thing, but I'm guessing he wrote to Mr. Han and told him about his struggles with Daniel and stuff. He's like, well, I'm having the same struggles with this kid who can't learn focus.
Parallel universe or parallel.
Yeah, and kind of almost a retelling.
Yeah, sure.
Through a new lens, but I'm excited because both of these guys are karate masters. And will we see them fight? Yes, we will.
Of course we will.
We'll see them spar off, but we'll get to see everyone fight, and it'll be fun.
It won't be like anything like the Royal Rumble of Cobra Kai, with the chairs coming out and the 100 points for death.
What was it? 20 points for knockouts?
50 points for death.
50 for death. 20 points for concussions.
20 points for knockouts.
The most, but you know what? Everyone I've talked to since our review of it agrees. They know it's kind of gone off the wacky board, but they loved every minute of it. It was great. It was basically WWE style now. It's time to have fun and blow out and be silly.
They did. They blew out. That's for sure.
Cobra Kai, the last batch, comes out sometime before the movie.
Does it really? Is it good?
It's coming out in the spring, I believe. Okay. And the movie comes out this summer, right? Early this summer.
Think so.
But I think they're gonna release Cobra Kai before that one comes out.
Right. Well, that's good.
And I think it's the same crew that's writing this. Now, here's the thing: at this point, it's been verified that even the new Karate Kid is now in the universe. There's only one movie that has never been referenced, and that is Karate Kid 4, or the new next Karate Kid.
Oh no!
And if we can make it one more
half a season.
one more third of a season, then that movie will never be canon.
We don't ever have to say the words Hillary Swank.
I mean, at this point, if they introduce the shrine from the cartoon series, I'm totally fine with that.
I agree with that.
I'm totally fine with that. That was one, he just goes, that was one crazy summer we had. I kind of wish as a joke they'd throw that in.
Something.
I have never, I watched that when it came out.
Really?
And I loved it.
Oh, wow.
But I bet it's really ridiculous.
It's gotta be.
Because someone steals it happened right after Karate Kid 2.
Yeah.
Someone steals his family shrine. And so he and the girl and Miyagi have to go around the world to recapture and fight karate everywhere.
Great.
I would if they mention it. I'm rewatching the cartoon. We will watch the cartoon.
Throw it in the bank.
We'll do that.
That's great. Yeah.
But anyway,
Karate Kid Legends is my number 2. I'm very, very excited to see that in the theater. And I mean, to see a Karate Kid movie in the theater again.
That's what I was also thinking. That seeing a Karate Kid movie in the theaters again is gonna be fun.
On the screen.
Absolutely.
I'm so excited to get the bad taste out of next Karate Kid out of my mouth. That was the last thing I remember seeing in the movie.
That is true. This will be a redemption.
Yeah, could be. Hopefully.
For Ralph Macchio. For the whole series. All right. Not that the series needed saving because Cobra Kai did that. In fact, the success of Cobra Kai is what got this movie.
It did. It made
greenlit.
The movie,
So yeah.
For sure.
All right. So number 3 for you.
Number 3 for me. One of my favorite directors ever is Danny Boyle, and then Cillian Murphy just recently won the Oscar for Oppenheimer, and so I'm thrilled about 28 years later because 28 Days Later is one of my favorite horror movie. Period. It's just beautiful film.
Yeah.
It's really well acted. It's a good story. And I love every movie that Danny Boyle does. I might not like the story. I might not like Sunshine is a beautiful movie and it's really well directed, but I didn't like the movie, if that makes any sense. And so Danny Boyle is just one of those names. We put his name up on a poster for a movie, and if his name is attached to it, I will go see it. Because I have such faith and confidence in his ability as a filmmaker.
I remember the Sunshine. Oh, wait. Is this the sci-fi thing?
Sunshine?
Yeah.
Yes. Futuristic sci-fi thing about having
I thought the movie was good.
To rejuvenate the sun.
I actually like that movie.
Yeah. But I mean, it was okay, but it wasn't my thing. But 28 Days Later is one of my favorite horror movies ever. And the fact that they got Cillian and Danny Boyle back together. And I know they've made some other 28 months later or 28 weeks later.
No, just weeks.
They made weeks later.
And that was good. I didn't like it as much as the other one.
I didn't like it nearly as much.
I like where the guy looks up at a zombie who has been somehow strung up,
Yeah.
and blood drops down. It's dropping on his head. And he kind of looks up and it gets in his eye, which gets in his system, which infects him. Yeah. I thought that was kind of cool. And I remember Zombies Out and Abroad. I'm the same way. I need to rewatch those movies. I will before it comes out. But that's one movie that I know my brother will be there because he loved 28 Days and Weeks later. And so he is so for, I believe the next one was going to be called Jeremy.
Jeremy likes these?
Yeah, he loves them. I believe the next one was originally going to be 24 months.
Yeah.
They were going to go months because, but his career really took off.
Yeah.
And so he started doing other stuff and just let it go because zombies had kind of gone away.
Batman and everything else after that. So.
Yeah, and I totally understand that. But now the moons have aligned. It's time for them to come back. Yeah. So that'll be an interesting one.
No, I'm thrilled. I have a lot of high hope for this, I guess I should say, because it's rare that I see a horror movie that I want to go see in the theater. And I don't know if these are really horror. I guess they are because there's zombies. And
in a way,
so it technically qualifies as horror.
But it's an interesting story too.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what I like about it. It's a good socioeconomic and like just a good sociology story about what humans would do if this happened and how they would act and everything else. And I love that kind of thing. It's fantastic.
All right. So number 2 for me was, of course, Predator Badlands. Number 2 for you is
Karate Kid Legends.
I was like, we sniped each other's too.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we're on ones.
Predator Badlands, Mission Impossible.
Wow.
28 years later, Karate Kid Legends, and Superman.
I have no. Okay, so this will be interesting for number 1 for you. But number 1 for me is, of course, the ballerina. You laugh.
Go ahead. Have at it.
The ballerina.
Go ahead.
Is John Wick 3.5. Is the story that takes place between John Wick 3 and 4.
Oh boy. Okay.
I love the John Wick universe. Keanu Reeves does appear in the film.
He does.
He has a few scenes, I believe.
All right.
So I love John Wick's character. Yes, I want to see it. Is it going to be better than any John Wick movie? No, it will not. But it does. I just love that world so much.
So John Wick is your number 1 most anticipated film.
The John Wick spinoff. Even though I hated the the Max HBO Max 3-part miniseries about the hotel and about the young Jonathan, how he got the hotel in the movie.
I didn't even know about that.
Yeah, it's no good.
Make sure I keep not knowing about
avoid that one. Okay. It's just really bad.
All right.
It's about how that guy took over the hotel. Well, he owned the hotel, which I thought that's great. He did in the 70s, and by the way, it's everyone wanting to be like John Wick.
Well,
it's like if someone made a fan film in the universe of John Wick, this is what it would look like.
Wow.
It looked like a fan film.
Oh, man.
A fan tribute film. I was like,
harsh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And I was like, wow, nothing, the story writing, everything was a big miss. And they said they learned from it. They went back, retooled Ballerina to make it not feel inauthentic.
Yeah.
So I have my hopes up. Plus, Keanu Reeves, the director, they all want to do 5, but they refuse to do it if the story isn't there. They all agree they have to come up with a good idea.
Yeah.
And until someone has a good idea, no one's doing it.
That's what Ralph Macchio said about everything he'd been pitched since Karate Kid. Is that they
you have to wait
to do Cobra Kai until they got a good story, and that was the only then that they said yes.
Yeah, which is good. I like that. They want to keep the integrity of that universe. Yeah. But if Ballerina fails, then they've got a problem.
That's a big problem for 5.
Because the studio really wants to spin off John Wick.
Of course.
Because John Wick, Keanu Reeves getting older too.
Yeah, that's some easy money if you got a spinoff.
If you can and that's what you want. You want spinoff characters you can franchise, baby. Make a universe. Yeah. But here's the deal: if they make Ballerina good, excellent. Not that I'm expecting sequels of that Ballerina too, but
still your number 1 film.
Only because I love
so many high hopes.
Only because I love John Wick so much. And I was looking. Remember, I think last year this was
for when you inevitably come down crashing down.
Probably so. Last year, I think this is number 3 or 4.
Really? It hasn't come. It's been.
My anticipation has been boiling. Yeah, it's another one that got pushed back.
Okay. All right.
All right. So you're number 1.
Well, speaking of bad movies, first of all, the movie that I'm in, Sea of Madness, is actually finally coming out. So by the time we air,
please go ahead.
Sea of Madness will be playing on YouTube and Tubi and Gago and whatever other streaming apps. Horrible. But my name is on the poster, and it's fun to make movies.
There you
so
go.
I'll just put
we'll be talking more about this next time. But But I will say this.
Yeah.
I know a friend who just said, have you seen this movie? And tagged Bogman.
Bogman.
He said, this is local. I went, yeah. He said,
local.
do you know any of these guys? I said, yeah, I know one.
I know the lead guy.
I know the lead guy. Yeah, second lead. I said, they're going to do another one. He went, yeah, see him. He's like, I'm going to watch it when it comes out. So you've already got a fan there.
We've got fans.
Watching there. But he's like, oh, yeah, wow, some hometown kids did a movie together.
And we did. We've done 3 now. And we finished the Rake Investigation, which is the 3rd movie. And it's actually pretty good. Like, I'm actually kind of proud of the Rake Investigation.
Good.
And I've seen the bare bones version, the unedited version. But we might have two movies coming out next year. Or
That's
year,
awesome.
Rather.
That's awesome. Yeah, I'm still in talks with Mitch.
Yeah.
We're working a contract. The only problem is he can't get over my full frontal nudity clause,
that's clause
that I must have full frontal male nudity, and that it doesn't have to be in front of a female either. That's the thing. I wasn't going to bestow upon it someone else. I was really,
story, that's fine.
It's just that's how the credits open up.
Don't say open up when full frontal nudity.
That's right. Or it could be a stinger.
Stop it.
At the end of the credits. All right, but anyway, number one.
Number one is, of course, Superman, who's always been my favorite superhero. And I remember, like, the Christopher Reeve, Dick Donner movies from the 80s were some of my absolute favorites. The first one is priceless. It's priceless.
Agreed.
The second one is a fun, jovial, silly romp. And the third one, same. I mean, Richard Pryor, pretty funny. Fourth one...
I enjoy the third one, actually.
Third one's pretty good. The fourth one, stinker, right? And it needed to end at
okay,
that point.
I want to fight for the fourth one. It is terrible. Yeah. It is the worst by far.
He-Man in space.
Christopher Reeves
is brilliant.
Does not...
He didn't break.
He gives 100%.
He went full out.
And by the way, John Cryer, in the making of this movie, said, Christopher Reeves told him, he said, this is a really bad movie. He said, so don't think this is going to build your career and everything. He said, this is going to be really bad. So he knew it was a stinker. Yeah. He was disappointed. Have you seen the Christopher Reeves story?
Not the new thing that just came
He was
out.
Contractually obligated to do it. He did not want to do it. Superman was his only success.
Sure.
Even though he's brilliant in these other movies.
He's a Juilliard-trained actor.
Yes, he was only known for Superman. And it's like Superman was exciting, but I've done this role.
Yeah.
I've done this role.
Years now.
I'm done with this role.
Right.
But he still gave it his all.
No, I agree.
And it's some of the Clark Kent scenes
are gold.
And I will say this, Gene Hackman, who came back for Sacks of Cash, is Lex Luthor. He's the lovable.
He's Lex Luthor.
No one else will play Lex Luthor like him.
Not Gene Hackman did.
And no one can.
No.
No one can make the joking, hey, with full set of hair.
And yeah.
Gene Hackman, Lex Luthor.
People have tried.
So they went, honestly, Gene Hackman, a superb actor, Christopher Reeve, superb actor. Their acting is so much fun, and it's so sad. There's another cut of this movie that I want to see.
Superman 4?
They had to change the whole story.
What?
And then they lost the budget halfway in, so that's why they had to fight in space.
Oh my word.
Which is just a dark warehouse.
Which was horrible. Yeah.
It's totally terrible. But the thing is, though, thank you, Christopher Reeves, for giving me 100%.
Look, that's what I was
in a movie that didn't deserve it.
I learned that from my acting mentor, too. Is like sometimes you're going to be in films and theater productions that the movie or the story or the play isn't good. But that doesn't mean that you get to take the day off. Like, you still need to give everything you've got to the film, even if your quality of your talent is better than the story that you're portraying. Like, you still owe it to yourself, if no one else.
In fact, he went on old David Letterman, I think, or something, back in the Late Late Show, and he said, so you're going to be in the next Superman? He said, yeah. He said, Hollywood has a problem with sequelitis, is what he said. He said, once something makes money, they just want to keep churning out the same thing. He said, and myself and whoever was the director of Superman 1 and 2, I can't remember. He said, me and Dick. He said, yeah, well, he said, me and Dick, he said, we disagree. And if we're going to make something, it's got to be quality.
Yeah.
And that's where Superman 2 came out.
There's still no Goonies 2. Because Dick Donner made Goonies, and that's why he wouldn't do
Yeah, it's got to be quality.
Right.
It's got to be quality. But when he said when Hollywood sees money, that's all they see, and they don't care.
They don't care about anything else.
And then, of course, what did he predict? Well, what we got later on, the Xerox copy of a Xerox copy of a Xerox copy.
Right.
But you know what? As a professional, he didn't mail it in.
No, he never mailed it in, exactly. And I've thought about that.
Again, terrible movie.
Yeah.
But when I last rewatched it,
Yeah.
I was like, God bless Christopher Reeves.
Yeah.
He went and he knew the whole time it was a stinker. Mm-hmm. And he went in there and said, no, I'm going to give it 100%.
Yeah.
That's a professional. Anyway, with James Gunn, though, I will say this.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited for the reboot. I have faith and hope
Yeah.
that they can bring something new to DC. DC has been an embarrassment for years now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, an absolute embarrassment.
Agreed.
To anyone who likes any sort of DC hero ever. Like, it is an embarrassment to our childhood and the things that we loved. And they're like, oh, I'm a Batman fan. It's like, oh, I saw those Batman movies. Those are garbage. How do you a Batman fan? It's like, well, it's been ruined lately. It's been tarnished lately. So I'm excited for the reboot of that, and I think they've given it to the right person. At least I hope so.
I just don't like Superman. But I will be this honest.
I know, because you're a Batman fan.
The best DC movie I've seen was directed by James Gunn. It was his Suicide Squad movie.
Yeah, exactly.
Was the best one I've ever seen. So will he make a good movie? I have faith.
So, yeah.
No, I'm going in optimistic.
Yeah, and Superman's always been one of my favorite.
And rightfully, it should be your number one.
Yeah, he's great. So that's my number one without question, and I'm gonna see that movie, no matter what. I did watch the little teaser preview that they had, but from now forward, like I know they're gonna release trailer number 2, and then they'll release trailer number 3, and Superman, and blah blah blah. They're gonna have all this stuff. I'm not gonna watch any of it because they've already got my money. Like I'm already gonna go in there and listen to that John Williams score and tear up a little bit, and it's gonna be great. But I do not. There's no way I have a more anticipated movie of 2025 than Superman.
I think he'll do a good job.
I do too.
I predict he'll be one of the winners of this year.
Let's hope. Let's hope it's the Top Gun Maverick of this year. Or
well,
whatever. The unexpected joy. Would you ever get in the Superman camp if the movie is really good?
He's no Christopher Reeve, sir.
I'm not
but I won't hate. I won't say I hate it. Hopefully I will truly enjoy it. I despise Man of Steel.
Okay,
I despise Man of Steel. Henry Cavill's a nice guy.
Nice guy, fine.
Nice guy.
I walked out of that movie, and then I was actually literally lost a friend that day when I walked out of the movie theater because I was like, oh, that was horrible. I'm like, really? I loved it. Hey, what did you not? I was like, we are no longer friends. I'm not kidding. I did not.
When he kills General Zod and then tells the humans to leave him alone,
it was
and does everything that Batman would never do. I mean,
horrible.
Superman. Yeah.
Horrible. It was. Everything's okay. That's where I was going earlier. Is that everything since Superman 3 or so has been garbage and completely not representing the Superman that I love in the comics and that I've seen in other stories before, or even cartoons have had better stories than what these Superman movies have been lately. I mean, garbage. I'm so glad that they have. Like, Cavill's probably a nice guy. I totally agree. But the movies he's been given, way worse.
Garbage.
I mean, just atrocious.
Garbage.
Atrocious train wrecks. So I'm really thrilled about the reboot of that. And I like the fact that they fired everybody at DC and they're like, well, what do we got? Let's start over completely. What's our number one? What's our big dog? And they went with Superman first.
That's where you go.
To start it going, to get the starting gate. And I'm a big fan of that. I'm excited. They're putting in all their chips on this, and so they're cashing in big. And I really hope that they can pull it off next Saturday.
Morning.
Samoflange.